All right, matriarch Stella Gordon is determined not to divide her 100-year-old Texas estate despite her family's declining wealth and the looming financial crisis. But her three children have another plan. Old resentments and sibling rivalries surface as the members of this hilariously dysfunctional family go head-to-head to see who might claim the biggest piece of the pie in dividing the estate. Joining us now to talk more about the show is Carolyn Hogan, who plays Mary Jo, along with Linda Williams, who plays Lucille. Ladies, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so the content of the show sounds a little intense, sounds a little heartbreaking, but as we just said, this is an hysterically dysfunctional family.
Right.
So is this a drama? Is this a comedy? Is it a mix of both?
The Adobe's advertising it as a tragic family comedy.
Okay.
And I think that says it very well. It's tragic because it takes a family dynamic that happens in real
Sure.
families when someone dies or there's an impending death of people that they think have a lot of assets and material. And it brings out the good in people, but it often brings out the very bad in people. But because it's a fictional family and we're able to sit back and just watch it without having our own emotions involved, it's funny to hear some of the pat phrases and see some of the pat reactions that people do have.
Yeah.
So it is a tragic comedy.
Yeah, okay. So now, in terms of, because as you said, I mean, it can bring out the good, it can bring out the bad. Is there a single villain in this play? Is there a good guy, a bad guy? Are we all good guys? Are we all bad guys?
I think we're all both.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, that's just human. Everybody
Right.
is both. But what you see is just the how people react under pressure, and that's basically what's going on.
And that, I think, is a universal kind of idea, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. So, play set in a small Texas town in 1987. Is it because of that dysfunction and that kind of universality that we still feel relevance here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 2016?
Partly, but I think it's also partly because that economic time resonates with the economic times we live in now,
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
think. This idea of people living beyond their means, suddenly things happen, and at one point there's a song they sing about how they're just trusting in God because nothing changes, and then of course everything has changed.
Yeah. And so we're looking here, I mean, this looks like a pretty diverse cast here. You said that there are 12 actors in this show. And if you've never been to the Adobe, folks, it's a black box theater. It's intimate. So what is it like? I mean, that's also got to add to that sense of familial tension, putting it in, I mean, literally a small confined space like the Adobe.
Right. And we're hoping that the audience will become part of the tension with us because we're so close to them that we've invited them into our living room.
Right.
And they do feel like they're in our living room by the way the set has been built.
Really? Okay, so it really is very inclusive. So obviously, because there are some modern relativisms to it, is that why you think this piece has such staying power? Because we can relate to it because of the financial and also the emotional climate of 2016?
I think so. I think you can relate to the financial issues, but you can also relate to the fact that this is so universal in terms of the generational kind of conflicts.
Right.
And I think fighting over the assets too is something that we hear a lot about. Just a few days ago with Prince's estate,
Yes,
Yeah.
they're talking about how
That
people
whole
are coming
can
out
of
of the
worms
woodwork.
just now opening,
Right.
absolutely.
But this gives the audience a chance to look at it in a less tense environment so that they can see that it really is a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's sad what we turn into.
Absolutely. All right, so we can start seeing this tomorrow night. We open tomorrow with the Adobe Theater. How long do we run for?
4 weekends.
4 weekends, okay. And what is the best way to get tickets?
Well, you can go online. You can go to the Adobe website and click on Get Tickets, and you can buy your tickets online.
Okay.
You can also buy them by phone. There is a phone connection there, but I think getting them online is probably the easiest way because then you can choose what night you want to come, what level you're buying tickets at. There are several levels.
Okay, so it's really
And people
user-friendly.
can drop by
Okay.
the night of the performance, and hopefully there'll be a seat for them.
Hopefully, keyword,
Hopefully,
hopefully.
yes.
So it's
Hopefully.
smart to get your tickets in advance.
Exactly.
It really is because
Yeah.
we don't have reserved seating at the Adobe.
Okay.
So you need to, if you're sure you want to go on a certain night, it's always good to reserve
Fantastic.
ahead.
Ladies, break legs. Have a great run of the
you.
show.
Thank you.
Again, guys, for more information about Dividing the Estate opening tomorrow at the Adobe Theater, head over to casa.com. For now,